Hi you guys, it's me. And this time you get to see the picture that made the whole thing crash last time. I figured it out, people. I figured it out. So this is me, Aberly, looking at you, saying you guys need to watch this video. Okay? Now, for some reason, well, let's look it up. Yes. Okay. Watch the video. Here we go. We're going to do some order of ops. With these fractions, we're going to get some more complicated problems. Why? Because you guys are probably looking like this, like, okay, that's not really. Give me something tougher. Because I am bored of being bored. Because being bored is boring. I'm so bored. Give me some tougher problems. Okay, then just watch and learn. Alright, so here's your first one. It's going to be complicated. The quantity of 1/4 plus 2 3/10, all divided by 5/2. Alright, so starting on this thing, we're only going to do 2 problems today in this video using order of ops. What is the order of ops? Well, order of ops is PEMDAS. So what do we start with? We start with parentheses. And we have parentheses. And we don't just have a number, we have 2 numbers being added. So we need to do that first. Alright, so, okay, how do we add 1/4 and 2 3/10? Well, in order to add them, my advice is to make them both improper. Well, this one's already a fraction, so I'm going to keep that the same. And then I'm going to convert this one just to be safe. The denominator is 10. To get the numerator, 10 times 2 is 20, plus 3, 23. So now I can add. No, I can't. Because the denominators aren't the same. So I need to think of multiples. I'm going to go with multiples of 10. Stop me when I get to one that's a multiple of 4. You should be saying stop. Because 20 is a multiple of 4. So that's going to be the one I'm going to use. You could use 40, but 20 is smaller. So I'm going to change this 4 into 20 by multiplying it by, you said it, 5. Meaning that I'm going to have to multiply the numerator by that same number, 5. So then on this fraction, 10 times what will be our denominator of 20? 2. So I'd have to multiply by 23 by, not 5, but 2. So our new fractions are going to be 5 over 20 plus 46 over 20. And you're like, okay. All right. So now when I add these together, I am at 51/20. Which, at this point, you'd look at that and be like, that's improper. I need to convert it back. Well, the thing is, I would not convert it back yet because we're still not done with the problem. You're like, wait, what are you talking about? We just added. Yeah, well, we only did this first part of the problem. As you can see, there's still some stuff left to do at the end. So I would leave my answer of 51/20, and I would write that. That is my answer here of my addition. And then I'm going to bring down and say I still need to divide by 5/2. All right, so now this is my final step. And what do I need to do? I need to we have some division happening with fractions, so we keep, change, flip. So hopefully you are watching this. Keep, change, flip. So I'm going to keep 51 over 20. I'm going to change division to multiplication. And I'm going to flip 5 over 2 to 2 over 5. And now we are not done. So 51 over 20 times 2 over 5. Should I get common denominators? No, we're multiplying. You don't need them. So I have 51 times 2 over 20 times 5. Now just because I look at this and I see I'm going to get a pretty big number, So I'm going to go ahead and try and cross reduce with you. So I look at this 51 and the 20, and I say, is there something that goes into both those that I could divide by? No. Now I'm going to check the 51 with the 5. Is there something that divides into both those? No. Okay, so now I'm going to check the 2 with the 20. Something that divides into both those? Yes, there is, you guys. They both divide by 2. Both divisible by 2. So 2 divided by 2 is 1. 20 divided by 2 is 10. So that's going to make this problem a little simpler. So instead of 51 times 2, I have 51 times 1, which is going to be 51. And then on the denominator, instead of 20 times 5, I have 10 times 5, which is 50. And then the problem still keeps going. That is the best about this. This is improper, so I need to convert it back. So because I'm all the way done with the problem, I'm going to convert it now. So 50 goes into 51 once. So here's my answer, 1. And it didn't go in perfectly, so I need to know what's left over. We are left over with 1. And we are dividing by 50. Cha-ching! Okay, now you're not done watching just yet, people. You still need one more problem from me. And here it goes. It's intense. Negative 1/3 times the quantity of negative 7 plus 16 minus 3/4 times negative 8. Whew, take a deep breath. This one is definitely not boring, people. No, it has a lot of steps here for you. So start in order of ops, we go to parentheses. So I see something in there and I see something there. The thing is, I can only do this because this one's just a number. The parentheses are only there to just hold the negative with the 8 and say, stay there! So they put parentheses around it. Otherwise, the only thing I can do is this. So negative 7 plus 16, this is you thinking on the number line, where am I going? Negative 7, where are you going? Hopefully you're saying it out loud. Have some zest. Negative 7 left, and it's plus, so I'm going to turn around. 16, it's going to be longer than the 7, and I'm going to land somewhere in the positive realm. These arrows overlap, so I'm going to subtract the numbers. 16 minus 7, which is 9, and it landed in the positive realm, so that is going to be 9. And some of you now can do all those pictures in your head and can figure that out. But it's always nice to jot out when in doubt. Okay, so that part's 9. So I'm going to bring down the rest of the problem. 9 with the negative 1/3 out front minus 3/4 with the negative 8 in parentheses. Okay, so order of ops, we've dealt with what's being asked of us in the parentheses. Even though we still have parentheses in the problem, but those are just numbers, so we can't do anything there. So we're going to go to exponents. There are none. Man, I should have given you one. Then, after exponents, we have mult or div. And if we go along in the problem, we have some multiplication happening here, and we have some multiplication happening there. So we're going to have to do both and leave this subtraction in the middle. So, negative 1/3 times 9. Well, I have a fraction, so I need to make both of them fractions. So I have negative 1/3 times 9 as a fraction is 9 over 1. And I'm going to go ahead and multiply across. Negative 1 times 9 is negative 9. And 3 times 1 is 3. Now that's improper, so I can actually keep going. 9 divided by 3 will be 3, but since we have different signs, it's going to be negative. So when I multiply those, it ends up being a negative 3. Okay, now we need to multiply this beautiful mess. We have 3/4 times negative 8 as a fraction, negative 8 over 1. And when I multiply across, I'm at 3 times negative 8, negative 24 over 4 times 1, which is 4. And you'd be like, Miss Everly, that's improper. Good job. 24 divided by 4 goes in perfectly 6 times. So that's 6, but they are different signs, so it's negative. So I'm going to say that those multiplied together is negative 6. These multiplied together is negative 3. I'm going to bring down the subtraction sign. One last step. Negative 3 minus negative 6. Number line it, people. Whew. Okay, negative 3, right or left? We're going left because it's negative. There's a subtraction sign, meaning you think you're going to go left. But then there's another negative to say, oh, don't go left. Turn around. You're actually going right. And it's 6, so it's longer than the 3. So we're going to land in the positive realm. So since these are overlapping, we're going to subtract the 6 with the 3. And we're at 3. And it's in the positive realm. Whoa. Take that all in, people. See you in class.